Mentoring is a powerful tool. It can help you gain confidence, give back to somebody else, grow your leadership skills, and help both mentee and mentor have a better mental health. In fact, I have a blog and a video all about that, and I'll link it here. But mentoring can have a downside. Mentors can burn out. Mentees can too. And today I want to talk from a mentor and a mentee angle about how to avoid burnout and what both parties can do to maintain a healthy mentorship relationship. I'm going to give you 7 tips coming up today on ProjectSkillsMentor.com. Hi, I'm Liz, the Project Skills Mentor. So first, let's talk about the 7, and then I'm going to get a little bit deeper. First, have a clear purpose. Next, define your mentoring process. Third, connect with your mentoring partner. Look for personal growth. 5 is give and get gratitude. 6, take a break. And 7, change things up from time to time. So let's talk about how the 7 things can help you not burn out. I've mentioned mentoring is powerful, and in fact, I've got a video all about the power of mentoring and the kinds of mentoring you can do. All of that takes, as I said, time and energy, and you need to make sure you're giving yourself the time and energy to do either self-mentorship or mentoring with someone else. Understanding, first of all, that you're doing this means you should have a goal. You should have a purpose for that mentoring. The process of mentoring can be seen as just giving advice to someone. And that can be a one-time conversation. Maybe someone's just coming to you for advice. You could consider that coaching if they work for you and you're actually teaching them a skill, but it could be mentoring if you're helping them chart their career path. But having a purpose is so important. Otherwise, it's just sort of random discussions, which can be useful, but it's not truly mentoring in my view. Mentorship has an aspect of personal growth. And while personal growth can be done randomly, generally it needs a plan. I mean, if you're going to take a trip, you're going to know your destination and probably look on Google Maps to check that you know how to get there. Mentoring's the same. You need a roadmap. You need a destination clarity. Otherwise, you're just kind of drifting along and hoping things will improve over time. Not a good plan. So first, have a purpose. And related to that is point 2. Have a mentoring process, which is essentially the plan I just referred to. I have a process that I actually teach in mentoring workshops that I make available online, and it's here for you if you want it. It's a Word document or a PDF. The Word document you can actually make your own, make it fit for your purpose, but it essentially takes you through pre-work before the first meeting with your mentor or mentee, all the way through the end of mentorship. And this is an exercise I really recommend for every new mentoring partnership. It's important because it allows you to do lots of different things like set expectations, explain the journey you're on, where you are today, where you want to be, create goals together. Also create accountability to the mentorship partnership so that those relationship rules are in place, including confidentiality, how meetings will happen, who's responsible for preparing for the meetings in advance, etc. I find this process has worked so successfully for so many people. I hope you check it out because having a process is one of the easiest ways to make the first early days of mentorship set up for success and continue that success. So that will avoid the burnout of random, I don't know where we're going with the goal, and random, I don't know where we're going with the process. Next, you'll have to connect with your mentoring partner, whether a mentee or a mentor. Now, the important thing here is that you don't have to be like your mentee and mentor. Maybe it's even better if you're not, but you do need to try to like them, to find the thing that you value in that person. Because if you don't value and respect your mentee or mentor, it's really not going to work. There's so much time and energy and emotional content involved in mentoring, the hope that you can help someone else, whether you're a mentee or a mentor, that if you're not really connecting with that person, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a slog, and you're going to burn out. So don't do that. First, pick the right person, and that's whether you're a mentee or a mentor. Make sure that you think there's a good connection there, and then work on growing it over time. Now, if you're a mentee looking for a mentor, I've got a video and a blog about finding a virtual mentor. And this can work for non-virtual mentors too. So check that out if you want to find out the different ways you can actually find the right kind of mentor for you. And also the self-assessment you need to do to make sure you're clear about the kind of mentor you need. And if you're a mentor, you can use some of the same processes to make sure that mentees who reach out to you and ask you to mentor are actually the right kind of people. And in the process I mentioned earlier, we actually addressed that in the first meeting. The next point is to look for personal growth. And by that I mean on both sides. If you're a mentee and you're not seeing personal growth in your process, you need to talk about it in your mentoring meetings and saying, I had this goal, but I'm not working toward it, or it's not working for me. The kinds of things we're doing aren't working. So let's talk about the process or the way of working we're using, which is beyond process. It's really the steps. Are you maybe needing to role play and you're not doing that yet? And by the way, if you're a mentor who's trying to help a mentee with those things, you can find all of these kinds of topics on my blog underneath mentoring. But if you're not finding personal growth, if the people who show up for your meeting aren't well organized, haven't done their work, haven't written an agenda for the meeting, maybe even aren't taking notes, and I'd like to just say really quickly, everybody at meetings should take notes of some kind, whether they're bullets or something else. And certainly you need to agree to actions, and that's part of my process as well, that actions, direction, and movement forward are really important to the mentoring process. But if you're not seeing that and you're not seeing growth, it could be a lack of connection, it could be a lack of process, could be a lack of purpose, but either way, you got to solve it. So solve those things, because if there's no movement forward, you will both burn out on the process. And if you feel like that may be happening and your growth is stagnating on your mentorship, here's a couple of things you can do. 1, review the goal. 2, reconfirm the plan and the process. Next, set out actions. And if you need to, revise the actions or even revise the goal. Set up a joint accountability and accomplishment. And there's a part in my process to do that on every single meeting. So I suggest you do that. And work together potentially on a common goal. It can be two sides of the coin. And in my mentorship blog, I actually give an example of what could be a mentorship goal that both the mentee and the mentor share that helps them work towards something together. This can all help you show that you're moving forward in a way that's positive and something of value to both of you. The next one's kind of related, which is about give and get gratitude. Gratitude is as simple as saying, thank you for your time today. It was a good meeting. But more than that, it's about the actions behind those words or the actions instead of the words. So if either of you are continually late to meetings, don't follow up with the action items, aren't feeling the need to prepare or to contribute to the meetings, like a mentee might say, oh, you mentioned this point earlier, and I found an article on Harvard Business Review or Forbes that you might want to check out. Here, I'll send you the link. Those kind of things show you are engaged and thankful. And part of the process of building gratitude is not just being thankful, but acting in that role of thanks and gratitude. And that's so powerful. It really can keep you motivated to keep working together, even when you struggle on other points. And if you are struggling as a mentor, sometimes you need to take a break. And that can be a break where you still have mentees, but you just say, I need a month off, or you take a break from mentoring altogether. And this can be a moment for you to reassess how you want to give back, because there are multiple ways of doing this. You can do some volunteer work for an NGO or help in a school to do some kind of training. There's lots of different options. Think about what you want to do. Or just take it as a break and then restart mentoring with new vigor. And finally, for mentees and mentors, you can change things up. One example is not doing the long-term mentorship. I often mentor people for a year or more. And these can be bi-weekly meetings or monthly meetings. So that's a long-term investment. You can also speed date, so to say. You can do 1 or 2 very short meetings just to help that person over one particular topic. You can also do group mentoring, where one mentor facilitates a discussion with a couple of mentees, because it's not just the mentor contributing to the conversation, it's each mentee learning from each other. And that can be very powerful as a way also of helping a lot of people at once if you have little time but want to help a few mentees. And if you've been a mentor for a while, one way to change things up is to be a mentee, by giving you a fresh perspective on what it's like to have the other side of the relationship. And also by working with someone senior to you, you can get a fresh perspective on another level of leadership. And a little tip, if you bring the mentorship workbook that you've been using for mentees, your mentor might find value in that, and you'll already start giving back to the relationship on day 1. So I hope you found these 7 points helpful today. I hope you use them. I'd love your feedback, so please put a comment below if you do have a question or a comment about something I missed, something to improve, or something you've worked on that's really been beneficial. And I hope to see you next time on ProjectSkillsMentor.com. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.